was at a speech. No, it was windy, a little away. It was just like, I guess I gotta wing it now. And it was supposed to be like a 15 or 20-minute speech. And
You are here going to?
He is not lobbed up.
You're sending me his signal, so I can't have that.
Okay.
perfect.
The podium right now.
Podium. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Podium being sent. Can you hear the podium?
And we're hearing everything back here too.
Yeah. I'll go Kimberly, then she'll know where it came from.
John, we're starting to get the group of them. They're pre-fader or post-fader? Do you want to talk to them at all? Okay, they're starting to group up.
She's 60, huh? All right. She looks younger.
Seems like it's the whole pre-fade instead of post-fade.
I think so. Yeah, because even though the faders are still flipped down, I think they're still like setting. Shouldn't be getting it anymore. Okay, so you're just able to switch it to post. It was set to post.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please find your seats here and we'll get started momentarily. Thank you. All right, thank you again for attending. I'm going to ask you everyone to please stand, and I'm going to introduce Doris Levy to the stage from Love in Action for an opening prayer.
With me? Lord Father, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for your love, your peace, and your joy that abides in us every day. We thank you for this beautiful city and our mayor and his family and all of our city officials and their families. We ask that you bless us, each and every one, with love and peace and unity that will reign in this place today. We ask that you bless us with unity in our community. We ask that you bless everyone that's represented today. We just love you. We all sometimes have our own agendas, but we ask that you lead and guide us in your direction. Help us. We need you. Help us to give you the honor, glory, and the praise in all of our words, our deeds, and our actions. We ask that you give our mayor and his staff wisdom, strength, a supernatural strength, good courage to present Grand Forks well. We ask that for your protection. We declare peace, that we declare no weapons formed against us shall prosper. We thank you for we want to speak love. We want to speak peace. We want to speak hope and speak life every day in our lives in order for us to walk in peace and in victory every day. Bless Grand Forks. Bless our mayor. Bless this program today. And again, let it give you the honor, glory, and the praise in all that we do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Doris. I would ask that everyone remain standing for the national anthem, and I'm going to ask the velatones and manitones from Red River High School to come up to the stage for the singing of the national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars to the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
After 5 years on the job, it's remarkable to think back about all the work that happens day in and day out by our city staff to keep this community safe, secure, and running efficiently. They truly are the heroes, the hidden heroes in Grand Forks, North Dakota.
People may not realize that the city provides, on average, over 8 million gallons of water a day and up to 14 million gallons during peak months in the summer. And they also collect and treat over 9 million gallons a day of wastewater.
I've been coaching hockey for 36 years. We actually own a team in Grand Forks called the Grand Forks Stallions. My name's Travis Hagan. I work for the city of Grand Forks, and I oversee the buildings and grounds. Anything to do with anything from electrical, carpentry, plumbing, HVAC, roof, you name it. A year ago, we had a leak on the hive roof, and it was pouring in, and I was not here at the time. I had to rush here. First thing you do is try to find where the water's coming from. There's a drain that comes off the roof. The drain inside the building was leaking all over. Put a pump on there and hooked Bluetooth technology to my phone so I could turn the pumps on and off until we could get our roof replaced. My day is never tedious. It's sometimes 20, 30 things in one day, and they're all different things. We're getting ready to put up the Christmas tree down at Town Square. We decided to put up a tree that we could decorate any way we'd like to and take it up and take it down, and no better place than downtown, right by the pinwheel.
We can clear snow from all city streets within 16 hours and can cover approximately 600 lane miles. You know, we have a lot of operators that don't live within the city of Grand Forks, but they always make it here. Rain or shine, snow, blizzard, they always get here to get their job done.
My name is Chad Gunderson. I'm a firefighter for Grand Forks Fire Department, and I'm also a small business owner downtown Grand Forks with Half Brothers Brewing Company. Many nights we go to bed and we're woken up by the tones, and sometimes that doesn't stop. You're jumping up, getting dressed, running out to the rig. In 30 seconds, you're making decisions. You get back to the station and you're just laying down and the tones go off again. Rinse, repeat. You're there to rescue or there to help, and that's the exciting part.
My name's Brandon Eberhardt. I'm a Catholic. I'm a husband, mostly amazing kids, and I happen to be a police officer as well. A woman calls 911 and she's frantic. She's panicked, she's calling us for help. She had no idea where her 4-year-old went. The way she was telling the dispatchers, she was assuming the worst. She had other neighbors out looking for the child. It's a very serious call. It's all hands on deck until the kid is found. So that call came in and we knew we had to get there fast. Our first step with a missing kid case, we need to search the house. Being a father to 7 kids, I know kids can fit into places that you would not believe. And I happened to see this couch up against a wall, and I thought, there could be a kid back there. I looked down and I saw the boy, and he was sleeping. The look on the mom's face when she was reunited with her kid, it hadn't been that long, but that look of relief and thanks is definitely something that sticks with you.
Once again, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Mayor's State of the City Address. My name is Mike McLean, Chair of the Grand Forks East Grand Forks Chamber of Commerce. It is indeed an honor for your Chamber of Commerce to partner with the city to bring you the annual Mayor's State of the City Address. First, we'd like to thank the many sponsors of this event. Their support helps make this possible. And I don't know if we have images of those. I can read those off later. But can we get a round of applause for our sponsors? And I'll pull those up on my phone here in a second. The Chamber has an excellent working relationship with the Mayor, working on fundraising efforts like the Career Impact Academy and the Mayor's Air Service expansion effort. The Mayor also understands what it takes to run a business and has instituted many business-friendly initiatives which are a big part of Grand Forks' growth. We look forward to working with you and supporting you on the many great projects on the horizon. Let's give a resounding round of applause to our Mayor, Mayor Brandon Bochenski.
All right, good afternoon and welcome everybody to the 2025 State of the City Address. We've been doing these about every 2 years, and quite frankly, we've just been so busy and with so much going on that we haven't had time to do it more often. So it's going to be impossible to highlight everything, but I'd much rather have way too much to talk about than not enough. So let me start out. I want to take some time to give a few thank yous. First, I want to thank Mike McLean. Great job for that intro, much appreciated. I want to thank Doris Lebby for that beautiful invocation and prayer. I'm always lifted up in spirit when you're around. So let's give Doris a round of applause for all she does for the community and love in action. Thank you, Doris. She truly is one of my prayer warriors, and I love you, Doris, so thank you for being here today. I want to give a thanks to Alex Hovey and the Red River Velotones and Manitones for their impressive tones. So good job today, and thanks for being here. Thank you to the Grand Forks Chamber of Commerce, Barry Wolfert and staff for hosting this event today. You always do a great job. And then I did want to point out one special day for somebody in the crowd. Where is Kimberly Strom? You're not going to believe it's her birthday today. I won't say how old she is because I was shocked to hear, but Kimberly Strom, stand up. You always do a great job here. Happy birthday. All right. If you hang around long enough for happy hour, maybe we'll sing happy birthday to you, but we might have to have a drink or two first. So once again, thank you to Mobile Pro for helping the city staff with this presentation today. I also want to thank the staff here at the Alerus Center for setting up this event. What a great year. On top of all the events, there's been extensive renovations and upkeep that allows this facility to continue to be one of the best in the business. This very space right here is going to undergo a renovation later this month, right after UND graduation ceremony. So President Armacost, you'll get the honor of being the last one up here. So there you go. I also want to thank John Gerke. He's here with his beautiful family tonight. Just incredible. About 9 months ago, all I gave him was a song that I heard on the radio that I liked, and I gave him a theme for some direction. He pulled that short film together, and what a great video. So thank you for that, John. Finally, and most important, I want to thank my family. Jenny, Sylvia, Henry, and Charlie. You continue to be a solid support system. The things I'm going to talk about today don't matter if I don't have my family. You're here with me. You're here with me through the good times and the bad. I'm getting choked up a little bit here. I'm a better man because of you. I'm a better dad, a better hockey coach, a better leader, and what I found out recently, a better bike jump maker. So thank you, and that's all because of you. So please give a round of applause to my family. Thank you. As mayor, I get to stand up here and tell you about all the great things that our city is doing, but I want everyone to know that none of these things would happen without the great work done by our city staff. When the city is running smoothly, you don't notice. You shouldn't notice. A quiet day is a good day. When I wake up in the morning and get a glass of water, the water is always there and flowing. When it snows, our streets get cleared. My kids are safe when they go to the park and when they're at school. Garbage gets picked up. Wastewater gets treated and cleaned. It's not all rainbows and sunshine. It takes the daily work of many who are well-aligned and well-trained to manage all the daily tasks to keep our city running smoothly. The city of Grand Forks employs over 500 people. These are people that live in our community. people that volunteer to coach our Little League teams. Some are small business owners themselves. They are our neighbors, our friends, our moms and dads, our sons and daughters. It's that connection to Grand Forks that makes their work so important. So if you couldn't tell from the lead-in video, today isn't about me. It's not about the other political leaders that sit on a dais for a couple hours on a Monday night. Today is about you, our city staff, and thank you for all that you do every day. I'm going to highlight a few departments, and as I do, I'll add some personal stories from those that are actually doing the work. As always, I like to start with a city budget and finances. When reviewing our city financial picture, our finance department leads the way. We rely heavily on all city departments to make efficient and prudent spending decisions. The city of Grand Forks continues to perform well from a budgeting standpoint. We have the same focus as always: people, public safety, and infrastructure. In 2024, we finished off our 5th consecutive year with a budget surplus, which shows our prudent and conservative budgeting. We have steadily grown our reserves, and that will be crucial as we head into the next biennium with new state legislation capping revenue derived from property tax. The city continues to cut expenses while making investments that improve our roads, health, and quality of life. It has been extremely challenging to balance efficient cuts with the future in mind. I've got tremendous faith in the team we have built at the city, and that our decisions made today will benefit the community for decades to come. For a visual representation, here's the reduction in mill levy over the past 5 years. And I saw Terry Bierke in the stands, so I'm sure he's happy to see that, and he's going to try to do a similar thing at the county. So thanks, Terry, for being here tonight. Seeing a downward trend has helped soften the effects of some recent increases by the school district and county. As we know very well, a mill reduction paired with valuation increases minimizes the benefits of any cuts. Every year, we continue to push for a net zero or decline for residential properties when we go through our city budget. So thank you to the City Council, City Administration, Finance, and all our departments for their work in managing to do more with less every day. As an economics major, I get most excited about the numbers in our finances, but probably one of the most and often talked about subjects for any city is the roads and their condition. Our Public Works Department manages more than just streets. They also encompass waterworks and sanitation. These crews take care of us every day, and they make it look easy. On the water side of things, our new water treatment plant continues to perform well, and investments in the wastewater plant will ensure the highest quality of water returning to the river and the least amount of impact on the community. Wastewater infrastructure improvements we've been making over the years have gone nearly unnoticed. We are currently in the process of making nearly $100 million worth of improvements. These improvements will make our plant state-of-the-art and set the city of Grand Forks up for growth well into the future. Due to our flat topography, we require considerable investment in pumping wastewater and stormwater to and from different parts of our city. It should be no surprise to all of us living here, but I always like to point out that the highest elevation in our city is the flood wall. We have 22 pump stations throughout the city, with each station housing 2 to 5 pumps. Some are for wastewater and some are for stormwater. These pumps are essential for our day-to-day operations. A failure in this critical system could lead to significant flooding and water in our basements. Not only do our crews take pride in protecting the city, they are also committed to additional training and education that saves our taxpayers money. Pumps require weekly maintenance and ultimately need to get rebuilt or replaced. Rebuilding a pump comes at a cost of several thousands of dollars and up to 6 weeks to accomplish. In 2018, lead operator Chris Grant asked that our staff get required training to make these necessary repairs in-house. Mr. Grant and Bob Newland took the training that year in 2018. And last year, Brad Brulé and Justin Carlson also took the training. To date, our crews have rebuilt more than 20 pumps. Instead of costing thousands of dollars and being down for weeks, our crews can make the repairs in a couple of days for just $500. Chris, Bob, Brad, and Justin have saved the city well over $100,000 in pump repairs over the last 6 years. This is just one of many examples of our operators going above and beyond to ensure our utility systems run as efficiently as possible at the lowest cost to the citizens of Grand Forks. All right, well, you can give a round of applause there, but As a side note, this is a little bit of a PSA for everybody. I've been asked to tell everybody the number one reason these pumps actually need to get rebuilt in the first place is because of the quote-unquote flushable wipes. So, don't believe everything you read on the internet or the packaging. They're not flushable. Please throw them in the garbage. That will save everybody some time, money, and energy. On top of that, our sanitation department already hauls 150 tons of garbage out of the city every day. They're willing to take a few extra pounds of wipes to help out our waterworks team. Not only that, but our sanitation department, along with our streets department, team up every year for spring cleanup, which, by the way, not saying they need to rush home, but that's happening next week. So it's coming up fast. Everybody get ready, get your spring cleaning done, and get your stuff out on the curb. That partnership also extends to leaf pickup and Christmas tree haul away. I think it's great that we've got a community that's able to offer all these services that are just a benefit to each and every resident that lives here. Speaking of Christmas trees, my wife, since she's here, I should mention she's a big fan of Christmas, and we are often guilty of having the tree up for 6 months out of the year or more. But I promise the next story isn't about her, it's about someone else. Last winter, our Public Works Department received a call. It was a resident asking when the crews were going to be in her neighborhood. When they told her crews would be by later that day, she hurried up, got her tree out to the berm, and took off to run some errands. When she got back, to her delight, the tree was gone. But as she walked up to the house, she noticed something on the front steps. There was a Christmas ornament sitting on the front steps. The ornament said, "Best Dad Ever." The ornament had been left on the tree. This ornament was special. It had been given to her from her son, to the husband. And it had extra importance this year because the son had been dealing with some health issues. Sanitation worker Earl Sonny Collison saw that ornament and had a feeling it was important to the family. So rather than rushing his work, he took the time to safely place the ornament on the front steps, not even knowing its significance. Well done, Sonny. I know Sonny's here today, so he's not out driving a truck. So Sonny, if you could stand up, where are you at? Love to give you a round of applause. Oh, he's up front. So you guys, if you see Sonny driving around the truck, you can give him a thumbs up, a handshake, give him something, give him a horn honk, something like that. Thanks, Sonny. Helping our neighbors, that's what it's all about. And it's just stories like that that I'm glad we're able to tell them, able to share, because otherwise you're not going to get to hear that. And that's what our city employees go above and beyond and do every day. Probably the most noticeable work, and we'll go back to this, that our city does is maintaining our streets. It's a constant battle repairing roads all over the city, particularly after the winter thaw. In the winter, our snow plow drivers drive over 600-mile lanes, and they are able to do this within 24 hours of a snowstorm, including multiple passes on mains and secondaries. I know sometimes I personally have a hard time clearing my driveway 24 hours after the storm. I think my wife would probably agree. She's nodding in the front. Thankfully, with the updates to our roads, we've had minimal pothole issues this spring. And if you can believe this, and Terry, this one's for you, I haven't had a single caller on KNOX bring up potholes in more than a year. Thank you. Streets are a place where our public works and engineering teams come together, and both departments have done a great job over the past 2 years and beyond. I applaud our streets department and engineering staff for not giving up on the fight and working hard to stay ahead of our major problems. We've gotten here with good planning and a budgetary emphasis on improving our road system. This chart here shows the improvements over the past 8 years, with a vast majority of our roads now requiring no action and very few needing reconstruction. So if you look at the green, that's 2024 compared to blue, which was back in 2016. And knowing the cost today, just seeing approximately 60 miles of road now needing no action is just phenomenal. And we'll continue to do that because roads are a very important part of my administration and city staff and the city council as well. So very happy to see that improvement. This summer will be another busy one when it comes to road construction, but it's part of the larger plan. Patience is a virtue, and this summer will be no different. Ever since the city received funding to construct the underpass at 42nd and Demers, we've been lining up other work to get the north and south corridors repaired before the underpass work begins in 2026. We will see that this summer. The Columbia Road overpass will be closed later this month to replace all the bearings under the bridge. This is a 50-year repair and important to keep the bridge functioning well. Work on the Washington Street underpass will also be completed later this summer. With inflation and cost escalations over the past few years, this project would not be moving forward without the support of the state of North Dakota, and especially Governor Kelly Armstrong. During our many trips to Bismarck this spring, the governor informed us that he was going to fill the gap with North Dakota DOT funding in the amount of $20 million. Our collaborative efforts and vision certainly paid off, and we can't be more grateful for the state's involvement in this project. We want good streets, that's for sure. Even more important than having safe streets is a safe community. The responsibility of ensuring law enforcement in our community underwent a big change this past year. After 36 years of serving the Grand Forks Police Department, Chief Mark Nelson retired. The chief did a great job leading the department through challenging times with unwavering calm and resolve when it mattered most. Grand Forks is one of the safest communities in the nation, and our city leadership and police department have vowed to keep it that way. This is a commitment from the city to our community, the community we all live in. Our police department has earned the respect of our citizens in a way that is unfortunately unique across this nation. They know and cherish the respect and confidence they are given. They feel it every day when they patrol our streets. So thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you for continuing the Grand Forks tradition. It is never taken for granted. Now carrying the torch, please. Now carrying the torch at the police department is Chief Jason Friedman. Chief Friedman is the 24th chief in the history of our police department, and the transition has been seamless. Chief Friedman, thank you for your professionalism and commitment as you lead PD staff and our sworn officers. The more I get to know you, the clearer it becomes that you are the right man for the job. Chief leads the city's biggest department with many great deputy chiefs, lieutenants, sergeants, corporals, and officers. Officers like Alan Gilbertson, who was awarded the 2024 Cody Holte Award for Distinguished Service. Officer Gilbertson is here today. Please stand. Looks like you're already standing. Where's Officer Gilbertson at? Please give him a round of applause. One more time, Officer Gilbertson, so we can see you over there. Yeah, right there. Thank you, sir. At the award ceremony, when he received the award, Officer Gilbertson, who had never worked with Cody Holte, made it a point to show his appreciation to the Holte family. I want to say simply and plainly, Cody's legacy and sacrifice for our community will never be forgotten. All of our first responders are tied together by our 911 dispatch center, better known as PSAP, or Public Safety Answering Point. The city PSAP takes on dispatch service for the Grand Forks County Sheriff's Office, the University Police Department, All True Ambulance Service, as well as the Grand Forks Police Department, Fire Department, and other rural agencies. They are the first and crucial leg for all of our first responders. In 2025, we made some changes to the structure of our Public Safety Answering Point, ensuring additional administrative support and a dedication to employee retention. The Fire Department has assumed leadership over our PSAP efforts and the 100,000 calls they receive every year. We look forward to growing success for the department and even greater community partnerships. Thank you to Chief Lorenz and Deputy Chief Marcotte for taking on this challenge. As I bring up strong community partnerships, I thought it only fitting to invite a few elected officials and representatives to join me on stage from our schools, county, and parks, so we get a chance to know them a little better and hear more about their organizations. We're going to start with the school district, and someone who probably needs no introduction, but I'll give it anyway, is Dave Berger. He's been on the school board since 2022 and is very well known around the community, so welcome on the stage. Board President Dave Berger, give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. And I just want to say, I say this often about the presidency of the school board. It is not an elected position on the school board, it's an appointment. We just take our turn. And so I'm also here representing the other members of the school board, of course, our district leadership team, students, staff, teachers, but I'm honored to be here.
Well, hey, thanks for taking the time to be here. I do have one question before we start. You got to watch the students from Red River sing the national anthem. Most events that I go to, you're the one that sings the national anthem. So how did they do, and what was it like sitting on the sidelines for that?
They did a wonderful job. Of course, Mr. Alex Hovey at Red River High School has these students performing well and leading well, and so it's just an honor to sing alongside them. I will say, I do take that position, that role of leading the singing of our national anthem very seriously. It is not a solo, it is not an audition, it is not American Idol. I maybe look at this a little differently than most, but I sing it the way I learned it in kindergarten, as if there's a row of veterans sitting in front of me or standing at attention, and I want to make them proud. Wow. So if you want something else, you'll need to get someone else. So a little bit upbeat and no embellishments, we should all sing together.
Hey, with that being said, you can sing the national anthem for any event I'm at. I'll give him a round of applause for that. That was beautiful. Well, let's hone it on the school district a little bit. Let's talk about some of the projects. It's a dynamic time. Talk about some of the projects and programs that you're most excited about and want to share with the group today.
Well, how much time do you have?
Well, we'll see. As Chair Commission isn't up here, Chair Kimberly Hagan isn't quite up here yet, so I think you got a little bit of time.
It is an exciting time for Grand Forks. I'm a product of these schools, these public schools, and so I'm very pleased to be able to share with everyone everything that's going on. Of course, we have 2 buildings opening just this year. In August, the Career Impact Academy will open and welcome students for the first time. I'm sure we'll touch more on that in a little bit. This, of course, is a public-private partnership. The state is involved. Over 90 industry and business partners involved. We're offering courses in 10 or more workplace and workforce development areas, hands-on experiential learning, not only for the students of our district, but I believe as many as 7 surrounding school districts sending students in grades 10 through 12 in a unique format. It doesn't make sense to come from out of town for 1 class period, so we'll offer 3 100-minute sessions per day to those students. They'll be among the first to get inside. Construction is complete, so I believe the first districts are coming in this next week, working on getting all the lab equipment and then furniture. I would ask everyone to watch for an open house about mid-August, working with some entities to figure out exactly when that will be. But what a tremendous opportunity to graduate students choice ready. We talk about ready for career, ready for military, ready for post-secondary education. To be able to offer that to our area is a remarkable thing, and many, many thanks to everyone working together to make that happen.
Well, I'm glad you spoke so much on the CT Center. I can actually go and cross out second half of my speech now, but no, I appreciate that. Let's talk a little bit about Valley Middle School. That's got to be a very exciting, much needed, long needed project, and it's getting close. Another year and a half. What's the timeline there?
Absolutely. We hope to open and make that transition over the winter break. So we'll have students, I don't know if any of you have driven by, this is just west of the existing site, so students are attending the current Valley Middle School. We're nearing completion on construction of the new building, and over that stretch of time, we'll move students, teachers, and staff over, and then the existing Valley site, which I agree is long overdue, will be demolished, and then we'll replace the green space and parking. That, of course, was a public referendum, and many thanks to everyone who made that happen. I do understand the pressure on our property taxes and on our mill rates. We did, with that referendum, also include about $18 million for safety and security upgrades throughout the district. Probably the most noticeable current example of that is at Red River High School. If you're familiar with the west entrance, that will now be a safe and secure entry point. So any visitor will need to buzz in through the main office. There won't be direct access to the building. And we're appreciative of those funds as well to make every student in every school as safe as possible. Those are just the 2 buildings we can look at.
Yes.
I've got more.
Yes, you got, how many more seconds has he got, Kim? She's going to give you 15 more seconds.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, first of all, I'm glad, too. That's going to be quite the Christmas present for Valley students, staff, and teachers. So that's going to be quite phenomenal.
Absolutely.
So please, touch on shorten
Sure.
up, and you got a little bit left here, so
Shorten
let's
up.
use
So
it. Yep.
we're also standing up a virtual academy to reach learners and teach learners who may struggle in a traditional learning environment. We're working together collaboratively for a new pre-K through 8th grade school on the Grand Forks Air Force Base, and that's a unique federal program that finds current military educational spaces that are lacking and provides up to 80% of the funding. And so that timeline is a bit in flux, although we'd expect to have lots more news here shortly about when to expect that building to be open. So there's just a lot happening.
Well, that's phenomenal. I know my kids and many others are waiting for summer. It's right around the corner, so I'm sure the work just begins when it comes to summer, as we all think school might end at that point, but they're just getting ready for the next year. So, well, give a round of applause for Dave Berger. He's going to stay on the stage and just slide down one. And all right, next coming to the stage is the County Commission Chair, Kimberly Hagan. She was elected in 2022 and has risen to the chair of the commission. So give a round of applause to Kimberly Hagan. Right there, yep. And then Dave will go right there, yep.
Oh my God.
Well, Kimberly, so this was going to be one of the first questions. I don't know how you find the time. You've got a family, all the things you do every day, and then you are the chair of the county commission, which takes up a ton of time. But I know that health and wellness and fitness is very important to you. Mental health is a big piece of that. So why don't you talk about that journey and what that means to you?
Well, that question is, there's two things that come to mind when you ask me that question. Number one, I have a really good support system. I could not do these things. I could not be here. My in-laws right now are watching my kids, which is so amazing, so I can sit here and feel like they're safe. But it takes a village, and I'm really appreciative of all the people that, Sylvia, too, I don't see her, she's not here. Sylvia, the tall girl that plays hockey, my kids always say, she gonna come over and babysit? But also I'd like to give a shout out to Choice Health and Fitness. Your daycare staff is top notch. Those 2 hours that I get every day are incredible, that I get to take a minute. Sometimes I do Zoom meetings at the same time, but it's really important to me and my family that we're active, we're eating healthy, because it streams into all parts of your life, one of them being mental health. So.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for that. The county, we're always happy at the city when the county makes a newspaper, because then we can take a breather for that week. So you guys have obviously been undergoing some really big changes, and it's really exciting to see, and I think the partnership is stronger than it's ever been. But you're going into budget season. Maybe just talk a little bit about what's next for the county, and this budget season is going to be longer than most, and what are you excited about? Then we'll get to Grand Sky after that one.
Fantastic.
Really great.
Yeah. So our budget season this year, we are losing Debbie Nelson. She put in her retirement on June 2nd. So if anybody's looking to join the team at the county in the finance and tax department, let me know. We started a little bit earlier this year. One of the other big changes is that we're not going to have as many meetings. We were meeting, 3-4 days in a row, all day meetings, just boom, 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 boom. It was hard to digest some of that information. So the department heads we've tasked them to try and cut anywhere between 0 and 3%. And then they're gonna be meeting with the chair, whether it's myself or whoever it may be, Mr. Ford, our county administrator, and then the finance and tax department head, we have an interim right now, but hopefully find another great person.
Well, I hope best of luck in the search for new finance director. I will say here, you cannot have Maureen Storstead. I don't know if she's here today.
We were really hoping that she
I
would
see
make
her
the
back there. You
change.
can't go anywhere. We got to lock to the desk so she can't leave. So, perfect. Well, let's talk a little bit about Grand Sky. Probably one of the biggest economic drivers, biggest one in the county for sure, but just continuing to grow and continuing to be phenomenal for the community, growing jobs. And not only that, but there's a national defense pride that we all take in what's going on in Grand Sky. So give us a little bit of synopsis of how that's going and what it's looking like out there.
Well, it's going really good. And when you talk about Grand Sky growth, you have to look back to where it started, the state of the base, what was going to happen to the base, and then Grand Sky comes in with collaboration with community partners and the county, and they really stepped up to birth this epicenter now of unmanned aircraft, facility. That steady growth over the last 10 years. And the thing that's most important to me is that they have good, meaningful jobs that have good, meaningful pay for people in our community. So.
Absolutely. I couldn't be more excited. I'll touch on that a little bit later in the speech. But
yeah.
Thank you, Kimberly.
You're welcome.
We got one more person, then we'll have just a little bit of a chat after that. But coming up next is Russell Kraft. So Russell was elected for his first term in 2020 to the Grand Forks Park District. He now serves as the vice president of the Park District. He's also the vice president of the Alerus Center Commission, so he's kind of the J.D. Vance of Grand Forks, I guess. All right, I got to ask him a question first. We actually played tennis a little earlier today, and we do play about 3 times a week with a larger group. So Russ has got a great forehand. He's really good at the net, but it's often been said that his backhand is the shame of the Park District. So our question for you, Russ, is: are you working on that? And what do you think? Do you enjoy playing tennis?
You know, truth be told, anyone that's been at these tennis drills, that there's probably the trash talking is probably far greater than the tennis being played on the court. So, but I think everyone knows this is probably the most competitive mayor I've ever met. He doesn't like to lose, so it's a great time. There's probably about 15 guys that show up a few days a week, and we have a great time there.
Well, that's great. So you've kind of got your 2 different hats that you're wearing. You're obviously on the Alerus Center Commission and the Park Board. So maybe talk about some of the projects. Talk about the renovation going on here, and any other projects you're really excited for, or things you're excited for with the Park District.
Yeah, you bet. So you appointed me to the Alerus Commission Board a few years back. And with that, 2024, as you've seen in the news, was a great year. I saw Anna back there. She's put together a great year. A lot of new things happening at the Alerus. This past year, the new roof went in, suite remodel, and now we're in the verge of starting to remodel the entire meeting rooms and conventions hall. So I think Anna will have a brand new Alerus Center that should last for the next 40, 50 years when we're all said and done here.
Is there any other big projects that, I'm just thinking, is there any big projects? I see Todd Forkos here with All True. We like sports, we like complexes. Any other big things we've been working on recently?
Yeah, breaking news. We, the Park Board just met the other night, Tuesday night. We approved the operations agreement. I was teasing Dave that no one ever shows up at the Park District meetings. Everyone goes to the county commission, the school board, and the city.
How do you get that to happen? It's so boring.
No, they're actually really riveting. We can talk about pickleball and ice rinks the first Tuesday of every month at 5 o'clock. And
does anybody know where they are?
Choice Health and Fitness in the meeting room.
Oh, okay.
No, we were teasing about that. No, we've been busy at the Park District. Georgia, our executive director, is in attendance as well. Both the Alerus Center and the Choice are led by great staff, great people that have the best interest in the community. With the Park District, it's a busy time of year. Golf courses are open, parks are busy, pools are opening. So it's great to be part of and get people outdoors where they belong. So.
Yeah, and I did want to touch on the Ultra Sports Complex. That's really been a great partnership between the city and the Park District. Just on Monday, we approved the bids. I'm going to talk about it more a little bit later in my speech, but really a tremendous amount of work that was done. The Park Board and Park District really came to the table and said, how do we get this thing done? So that's been really great. And the operations agreement. So this is great. The city gets to build the thing, and then we go like this, and we hand it over to the Park District, and we say, make this work. So are you ready for that transition?
I think we are. Being born and raised in Grand Forks, I think growing up, you always wanted a facility like this. You always knew maybe you could use a facility like this, but, how do you put it together? How do you make it happen? And so I think we're grateful through the city and to the mayor for financing it, and then for the voters for approving it. And now we got the big job of operating it. And it's a great collaboration, and, I think it'll go good.
Sounds good. Well, we got everybody up here, so just kind of wanted it open to everybody. So who's excited about the future of Grand Forks and the things going on? And what are you most excited about? Go ahead. Let's start down there, since Dave raised his hand. As a classic educator right there, you got to raise your hand before you talk. So perfect.
I thought it was a poll, and evidently, let's try it again. Who's excited about the future of Grand Forks?
Okay. There we go. 4 out of 60,000. We're on. Got a great start.
That's all I have.
Nobody out there raised their hand in this? Wow. Well, I've figured out over the years, participation from the crowd is really hard to get. So anyway, I think the important thing I wanted to highlight today is just the partnerships, whether it's the SRO program, working with the school district, whether it's base retention work we do with the county or with the Park District. There's a great collaboration that's continuing. I think it's important for the community to see that. So let's give one big round of applause to this group, and thank them for being here today. So,
Thanks, Mayor.
Thanks, guys. Yep, thanks, Kim. Sounds good. That was painless, yeah. Thank you. How great that they took time out of their days to be here today. So thanks again, everybody. The second half of my speech today is really going to focus on all of the great developments and projects that will continue to lift our community long into the future. You just heard Russell talk about the Ultra Sports Complex. I had to drag him through it a little bit, but we got there. And what it'll bring to the community. Just this Monday, we approved bid package 1, and shovels will hit the ground yet this month with an official groundbreaking in June. This has been 3 years of hard work, and now we have a project that is not only under budget, but is ahead of schedule. Through prudent project management and conservative estimating, we came in $15.5 million under budget. With the inclusion of the elevated walking track, we are still $12 million under budget. This allows us to look at a second phase that will include basketball and volleyball courts, as well as sports training, to an already great project. I have to give a tremendous thank you to the City Council, JLG Architects, McGuff, and Construction Engineers, the Park District, and all the user groups for pulling this project together and making it a huge success. Lastly, we can't forget the funding side, so thank you to all of our sales taxpayers and the community at large for voting to continue the sales tax that funds these types of quality of life projects. Just adjacent to the All True Sports Complex, we are nearing a groundbreaking for another exciting art and STEM project with the Grand Forks Children's Museum. They have raised almost $30 million and continue the hard work of closing the fundraising gap to get to construction. With the stated mission of engaging minds through play, I can't wait to bring my kids through the door. So check out their website and social media. And by the way, can they put that picture back up? They are looking for a naming sponsor, so if there's anybody out there that wants to put their name on it, I think it only cost you $5 or $7 or $10 million. So talk to the Children's Museum if you got that kind of pocket change laying around. We'd love to see that move the needle and get that project done. We are building out infrastructure to serve both sites simultaneously to save money and minimize disruptions. The recent competitive bidding market has saved us more than $2 million and has proven out to be the right and prudent strategy. In just a few short months, we talked about earlier, the Career Impact Academy will open its doors as the region's first dedicated career and technical education center for high school seniors and adult learners. The CIA Center, I'm still having a little trouble with that acronym, will offer education and employment training in high-demand fields, albeit not covert fields, for students to earn high school diplomas, college credits, and job-related certifications. Again, I have to highlight the state of North Dakota and the many private sector partners that raised $11 million in grant matching funds to make this project happen. Investing today in our future workforce will pay dividends for decades to come. I know my daughter is excited for her aviation tech class at the Career Academy this fall. I was going to call on her during the speech, but unfortunately, she had a track meet in Fargo that was much more important than her dad's big speech today. So hopefully she qualifies in the high jump and the mile run. All three of these projects I just mentioned are located on 42nd Street, which is becoming an increasingly important stretch for our community. As I mentioned earlier, the 42nd Street underpass, which is scheduled to start construction next year, will ensure train stoppages don't derail the fun and learning in this important corridor. When it comes to schools, none needed to be rebuilt more than Valley Middle School, and secondly, Nathan Twining. Valley is well on its way to completion, and Twining is nearing the start of construction. As we continue to talk about quality of life and how to attract and retain workforce, two of the most important pieces have always been the quality of schools and the quality of healthcare. I have no doubt we have some of the best teachers, doctors, and staff in the nation. Now we have the facilities to match, allowing for the whole community to become more attractive and enjoyable for all. All True has been the backbone of healthcare in our region, based right here in Grand Forks. If you haven't been to the new hospital yet, and I don't recommend going unless you're there for a tour or preventative medicine, you'll see the newest and most technologically advanced hospital in the Midwest and probably the nation. It was designed with patients and families in mind. The modern campus combines innovative technology with compassionate care to enhance every aspect of the healing experience. I had the honor to cut the ribbon on the new hospital in January. The state-of-the-art facility sets up quality healthcare in Grand Forks for decades to come. This hospital amenity was in part why my mother and father-in-law recently moved to Grand Forks, and they thoroughly enjoy the community engagement that is readily available in a town of our size. One of their favorite amenities is the hot meals served at the Senior Center. The Grand Forks Senior Center is more than a place for seniors to receive meals. This building offers programs for adaptive devices, navigating financial assistance, providing entertainment, outings, and more. Grand Forks Senior Center has seen an increase in needs, and the building was due for expansion and updating. This two-level space will more than double the kitchen space and meal capacity, as well as open a dedicated technology education center. This project is scheduled for completion in July and was largely funded with $2.5 million in city CDBG funds. These are federal pass-through funds from the sale of Corporate Center 1 and Corporate Center 2 that were built after the flood and sold in recent years. We need to honor our seniors as the generation that built what we enjoy today. There is no greater representation of that than our veterans. Our military has a strong presence in our community. We are fortunate enough to have individuals who stepped up to the call of duty and said, "Send me." Due to the work by Don Roberts and the Veterans Honor Flight of Minnesota and North Dakota, we have the opportunity to celebrate and support veterans who have served in conflicts or wars. The Veterans Honor Flight program is free of charge and transports veterans to Washington, D.C. to visit national monuments, memorials, and museums, all while recognizing their contribution to our country. I was asked to volunteer on the most recent flight out of Grand Forks, along with several of our police officers. It was the highlight of my first 5 years as mayor. What an honor and privilege to be able to spend a few days with some of the nation's greatest, the most humble, friendly, and positive men that I've ever met. And there was one lady there too, so ladies, gentlemen, and lady, anyhow. Please give a round of applause to all of our veterans and active service members. What an amazing event. I want to take this time to thank our airmen at the Grand Forks Air Force Base and those geographically separated in the 319th Reconnaissance Wing. To Wing Commander Colonel Tim Monroe, it's been a pleasure getting to know you and your family these past 2 years. I wish you the best of luck as you leave Grand Forks to take a position at the Pentagon. Colonel, your leadership is second to none, and your partnership over the last couple of years has been invaluable to our community. Thank you. It is important to highlight the temporary bed down of the 28th Bomb Wing from Ellsworth Air Force Base in South Dakota. Many of you may have noticed some extra airmen around town or heard the roar of engines from the B-1 Lancer bombers that are being housed in Grand Forks, while Ellsworth prepares for the coming B-21 bombers fresh off the assembly line. Up to 800 airmen have been integrated seamlessly, both on base and in our community. To the 28th, welcome and thank you from the Grand Forks community. In the last 5 years, it's incredible to see the progress and growth taking shape at the base. As new missions become realized, it's clear that Grand Forks will be in the fight long into the future. This includes the integration of the Space Development Agency and the Test Resource Management Center at Grand Sky. Derek Tournier at SDA and George Rumford at TRMC both see Grand Forks as the tip of the spear for our nation's intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. As I mentioned earlier, the importance of Grand Sky cannot be understated. Grand Sky has been the key to connecting public and private sector industry and allows Grand Forks to continue to be on the leading edge of technology, whether it's unmanned aerial systems, data collection, or beyond visual line of sight, flying and testing. Our ecosystem has us as a world leader in UAS technology that now reaches into the manufacturing, service, and training fields. Northrop Grumman is retrofitting Block 20s and 30 Global Hawks into Range Hawks, and General Atomics continues testing and training RPA pilots from all over the world. Project Ultra, which has been tasked with remotely moving payloads between military installations, is conducting research and development right here in Grand Forks, with their first test flights taking place between the Grand Forks Air Force Base and Cavalier Space Force Base. The city has done its part to further foster business and employment growth through the Hive in downtown Grand Forks. Currently, the Hive has more than 30 companies working in national defense, renewable energy, oil and gas, and agriculture. Grand Forks has truly become a leader in UAS and ag technology. The world is noticing. Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, as many of you may know him from Shark Tank, has made an investment into the Hive and its tenants to help foster UAS and prove that North Dakota, and more importantly, Grand Forks, are worthy places to make millions of dollars worth of outside investment. All this type of work requires people. By people, I mean skilled workforce. We need engineers, pilots, mechanics, and researchers. What better place to find those people than at the University of North Dakota? With enrollment of over 15,000 students, the university is booming. I could not be more proud of the growth and development that is happening at my alma mater. President Armacost and his leadership team has done a great job setting up UND UND for the needs of our current workforce, regionally and nationally, with state-of-the-art programming and research. Let's give President Armacost a round of applause. He's here in the second row here. Thank you, President Armacost. Moving forward with the demolition of the old Hislop site will be bittersweet for many of us. That work will begin this summer to open up space for their new STEM center. This will bring a state-of-the-art facility to our science, technology, engineering, and math students, furthering the commitment to allow students to step into their future and create leaders for our next generation. The city continues to work very closely with UND, including the recent additions of Memorial Village 1 and Memorial Village 2. Memorial Village 1 is up and running, and Memorial Village 2 will start taking residents this fall. With the renaissance that has taken place on campus, we could very well see another freshman class with double-digit growth, bucking the national trend and further planting UND as the state's flagship university. Just so you know, I think President Armacost started that clap, but I think others were going to anyway. Our students and professors come from all over the world, some of which join our renowned flight school and aviation program. With such a steep history in aviation, I continue to work very hard to grow our commercial air service, which has been severely lagging regional comparators over the past 10 years. Last year, I formed an air service task force to quickly identify areas of needed improvement and to formulate a strategy to drive Grand Forks forward for our collegiate, business, and leisure travel needs. This is a group of leaders and private business owners, of public leaders and private business owners who have not only committed their time, but also their money to grow our air service and take back market share from Minneapolis, Winnipeg, and Fargo. After hiring the Meehan Aviation Group, the task force launched our strategy and applied for a federal grant to create competition and additional destinations to our current offerings. We were told by many that our work was way too fast and that we should wait and be patient for a better time. If anybody knows me, there's no time like the present. We worked hard, we moved quickly, and we were successful despite all the challenges. With that effort, even with that effort, the hard work is just beginning, and I still have a personal goal of bringing additional flights to Grand Forks by the end of 2026. All of this work will lead to more flight options at a lower cost for our citizens and the region. Let me be clear, none of this work comes easy. It is no different than the work we all do. You may lose, you may fail, again and again, but if you keep charging forward, despite the challenges, you will win, your community will grow, and people's lives will be improved. Case in point is the exciting announcement recently made by the Belgian, that's a tough word to say, Belgian potato giant Agristo. They see the potential of what our region and people have to offer and have committed to Grand Forks for their first North American plant and an investment of over $450 million. This investment will spur an additional $150 million of investment in regional potato storage and help grow our surrounding rural communities. I have mentioned this in the past, and I will continue today. No matter how great other industries are doing, the driver of our economy is agriculture. The better our local farmers are doing, the better our local economy is doing, plain and simple. A city and EDC team recently traveled to Belgium to see their operations and headquarters firsthand. Their factory is top of the line, and they will be a great fit right here in the heart of potato country. I have to give a big thank you to the Northland Potato Growers Association, along with Senator Hoeven and Governor Armstrong, for their help in closing the deal and bringing this project to North Dakota. The final pieces fell into place this last legislative session, and some tremendous work done by Representative Jared Haggart from District 20. I cannot wait for a community event later this summer and a groundbreaking next spring. This potato plant will add to our local food processing dominance, led by Simplot, American Crystal Sugar, the North Dakota Mill and Elevator, Philadelphia Macaroni, and many more. Simplot continues to be an anchor in our ag business park and has continued to expand and improve their facility year after year, and we thank them for that. Simplot was also an early investor in the All True Sports Complex, further moving that project to fruition. I had the opportunity to travel to Simplot headquarters in Idaho last year to thank them personally and to let them know as they continue to grow, the city of Grand Forks will be there to help. We also continue to work with Epitome Energy on their soybean crushing plant. Dennis Egan and his team are getting close to the start of construction, and when they do, we will be there to help them get across the finish line. This is hundreds of jobs and millions of dollars worth of investment, all because of our local farmers. On behalf of the city of Grand Forks, I want to say thank you. Thank you to our farmers. With all the success at the university, at Altru, at the base, at Grand Sky, and in the private sector, there is no doubt that housing will be a challenge, just as it is across the country. The city recognizes the need for increased housing inventory in rentals and single-family homes, and we continue to take steps to create more inventory in partnership with our local developers and builders. One of these great public-private partnerships is taking place at the site of the old water treatment plant, which was decommissioned in 2021. Plans have progressed with significant public input, and a future RFP will go out for construction on a generational project that will reshape the southern border of downtown Grand Forks. A team has been working on concepts that align with market conditions to ensure that a feasible project is brought forward. The current proposal would vacate 3rd Street and pull the second floor right up to the flood dike, making a new boardwalk and viewing deck. This image is a sneak peek of what will be presented this upcoming Monday, so hopefully the city council won't be too mad at me for showing you a little bit early. I see Dana nodding, so we're good there. It is truly an extremely exciting time in Grand Forks, and I am truly grateful to get to be a small part of it. We highlight big projects and exciting developments, but that's not what really makes a city good. What makes a city good is getting the day-to-day tasks done and done well. There's no glory in it, and it's not glamorous. 150 years ago, Alexander Griggs stepped off his steamboat and began platting the city of Grand Forks. Some of those first surveys are still used as a basis today. Our tradition runs deep. I'm proud to be the mayor of Grand Forks. I'm proud of all of our city employees who go the extra mile to get their jobs done. I'm grateful that businesses and developers want to invest in Grand Forks. They see us as a good investment because we are a hardworking people and a community that's always looking forward. I'm grateful that Grand Forks is a type of community that takes care of each other no matter who you are. I'm excited for the direction Grand Forks is going. Grand Forks is our home. It's all of our homes. We should be extremely proud of who we are and where we come from. So thank you all for being here today, and thank you for making Grand Forks just a little bit better. God bless you, and God bless Grand Forks. Thank you.